teacher thing that they got into.
Okay, we will go ahead and call to order the council meeting of the East Grand Forks City Council for Tuesday, May 5th, 2026 at 5 p.m. Would the city administrator please call roll?
Mayor Mark Olsted.
Here.
Council President Brian Larson.
Here.
Council Vice President Tim Riepel.
Here.
Council members Tammy Schumacher.
Here.
Ben Pakshavinsky.
Here.
Dale Helms.
Here.
Donald Kiesme. Here. Karen Peterson.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, that brings us to open forum. Open forum is an opportunity for members of the public to address the City Council on items not on the current agenda. Items requiring council action may be deferred to staff or boards and commissions for research in future council agendas if appropriate. Is anyone here this evening for open forum? Okay, see none. With that, we would be moving into the approval of minutes. This week, we're seeking approval for the April 21st council meeting, April 21st closed meeting, and the April 28th work session minutes. Moved by Pakshavinsky.
Second.
Second by Kiesme. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riepel.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Kiesme. Yes. Peterson.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Schumacher.
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Scheduled bid lettings, this week there are none. Scheduled public hearings, there are none. That brings us to consent agenda. Items under the consent agenda will be adopted with one motion. However, council members may request individual items to be pulled from the consent agenda for discussion and action if they choose. Would a council member like to have any of the items 4 through 6 pulled? Okay, if not, we'd be looking for a motion on items 4 through 6. Moved by Kiesme. Second by Riepel. Any questions or discussion?
I've got a question.
Go ahead, Ben.
Mr. Emery, number 6, will the Sorley Bridge be open by then? When will the Sorley Bridge be done with the construction? Looks like the Shriners have a parade on the 15th.
There's going to be a time period there where it'll be temporarily open again, but I know their construction is scheduled to last up to about July 6th.
Okay.
So
All right.
there will be a window in there where it will be back open. So.
Perfect. There's just a date on here of August 15th. I just wanted to make sure that that's not going to conflict. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions or discussion on the consent agenda? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Riepel.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Kiesme. Yes. Peterson.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Schumacher.
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. We'll acknowledge receipt of reports of officers, boards, and commissions. We have the regular meeting minutes of the Water, Light, Power, and Building Commission for April 15th, 2026. Communications, this week there are none. Old business, this week there is none. Moving on to new business, item number 8. Consider adopting resolution number 26-05-44, approving the low-potency hemp edible retail registration for Orton Motor, Inc. Moved by Riepel.
Yep. Second.
Second by Pakshavinsky. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riepel.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Kiesme. Yes. Peterson.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Schumacher.
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Item number 9, consider approving resolution number 26-05-45 to reclassify Public Works foreman from grade 15 to grade 16.
Move.
Moved by Schumacher.
Second.
Second by Riepel. Any questions or discussion? I see none. Roll call, please.
Riepel,
Yes.
Helms,
Yes.
Kazmi,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Schumacher,
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Item number 10, consider adopting resolution number 26-05-46, authorizing the city engineer to prepare a report of feasibility for the 2027 street improvements.
Move.
Moved by Pakshavinsky,
Second.
second by Schumacher. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riepel,
Yes.
Helms,
Yes.
Kazmi,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Schumacher,
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Item number 11, consider approval of the Memorandum of Understanding with Law Enforcement Labor Services to provide a $5,000 recruitment bonus for new patrol officer hires in the police department. Is there a motion? Okay, item dies without a motion. With that, we'll move on to claims. Claims, item number 12, consider authorizing the city administrator, clerk treasurer to issue payment for accounts payable invoices totaling $347,495.50 and the May 1st, 2026 payroll.
Move.
Moved by Kazmi,
Second.
second by Pakshavinsky. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riepel,
Yes.
Helms,
Yes.
Kazmi,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Schumacher,
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. That brings us to council and staff reports. We'll start with Mayor Olsted.
I have nothing tonight.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Council Member Schumacher.
Nothing, thanks.
Thank you. Council Member Pakshavinsky.
Yeah, I would just ask that anytime there's any sort of spending proposal, whether it's labor-related or for some sort of piece of equipment, if we could please have it come through on a work session first. If it's an emergency, like that's, imminent impact to the operations of the city, I understand that it can't always happen. But a lot of these items, I think, should go through a work session first, which will then give our residents the ability to provide feedback to council members before we actually vote on it. So, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pakshavinsky. Council Vice President Riepel.
Nothing at this time.
Okay, thank you. Council Member Helms.
I don't have anything other than if somebody can warm it up out there, that'd be wonderful.
We'll see what we can do. We'll go on to Council Member Kazmi.
Nothing, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Council Member Peterson.
Nothing, thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll go to Mr. Hutton.
Yeah, just a reminder when we're done tonight, close meeting downstairs for some property discussion, and then Councilmember Pakshavinsky, to your point, and Mr. Helms has made it previously too. Department head staff are well aware of that. We're making every effort and talk with Council President Larson weekly on agenda items. This item, the law enforcement related item, unfortunately was one of those, the timing of it. It popped up after the work session last week and has some timeliness to it in an effort to try to get the candidate an answer. So that was the reason that it's here tonight. But message fully received. Every effort will be made to have things go through work sessions first.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Gallstead.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Emery.
Okay, well, good evening, Council. Couple updates for you. Point Bridge project. We learned last week that some of the material deliveries, specifically the expansion joints that got to get replaced on the bridge, can take anywhere from 5 to 8 months to get that material. So right now we're looking at a 2027 construction season. We know we need to do something with the approach and how rough it is there. So Mr. Stordahl did get some pricing from a local contractor, I'll say for now. Looks like the pricing is favorable. So I think we're going to move ahead with doing the kind of the temporary patchwork just to improve the ride for the next season. We did debate about possibly still doing the approach work this year. However, the contractor will be using the Minnesota side of the bridge there for staging area. They'll also be setting up a temporary like concrete plant, because when they do the the bridge overlay, they don't actually get the concrete from like a supplier. They actually mix their own. So there's going to be a lot of traffic back and forth. So I think in the long term, we're better off just temporary fixing it for the year, and then doing that approach work next year with the project so that it doesn't, get wrecked or get beat up during the bridge construction. So that's what we're looking at. So right now, I did have to put out an addendum to notify the contractors. So I think I put in the contract, work could start about approximately the middle of May next year and then be done by, I think it was the end of August or September 15th, I think is what I put in there. So hopefully can kind of hit that window that we like to hit with construction, is from school out to try to get it done before school starts again. So again, no, I've followed up with both MnDOT, North Dakota DOT. No issues as far as the funding, everything goes, that'll still be fine. And we're still gonna hold our bid opening next Monday. And then we'll bring those bid results to the work session on Tuesday the 12th. And then depending on timing, there's gonna be some approvals we'll have to get through MnDOT. So that'll kind of depend on when it comes back to council for, formal approval, but we'll plan to bring it to the work session on the 12th, so at least you kind of know where bids are at and where pricing is at. So, any questions, I guess, on the bridge project?
Steve, do you think the additional time will result in more competitive bids?
I think potentially better competitive bids. We were getting a little late in the season, so I think bidding at this time of year, they're definitely already going to be looking for some work for next year. So hopefully, yeah. And I think I reported last time, I think we got 3 or 4 potential bridge contractors that are looking at the plan. So I'm hoping we, see at least 3 bids. So.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Emery?
I got one more thing. So we held a kind of a pre-construction meeting today with Blue Peak. That went well. They kind of hit the ground running pretty much right after the pre-construction meeting. So they are starting on, they call it their district area 5, but one of the key areas they're going to be starting up on is over on 5th Avenue Northwest, kind of by the pool. That's kind of where their main feed comes, so that's going to be one of the areas they're starting. And then they even started today. Now they're actually working out on 10th Street Northeast, kind of out in the industrial park. So they were already almost ready to pull some conduit late this afternoon. So like I said, once the meeting was over, they hit the ground running. So again, the plan kind of right now is every Friday, Blue Peak is going to provide a map to read of where they anticipate to be working the following week. So Reed's going to try to get that onto the city website just to help keep residents, the general public, keep them informed. And then we're going to start holding we hold like a week, or typically in the winter it's a bi-weekly utility meeting with all the private utility companies and such. We're going to start going weekly now, being they've started construction. So every Tuesday, Blue Peak will be kind of coming to our meeting, again, kind of discussing plan progress, any potential issues, try to get those issues resolved up front. So I think overall the meeting went well. And then depending on, in the planning process, they're going to have to get some permitting and such in place to cross like the city's levy system. So depending on timing, you know, they were talking like today that work on the kind of the south end or the point area, that may be delayed until 2027. So, but again, that's kind of dependent on them getting some permitting through probably the DNR and the Corps. So anything else you want to add on that, Reed?
Yeah, I think just to add on the website for those that are listening or watching at home, if you go to the City of East Grand Forks webpage, right on our homepage, under Alert Center or under News Flash, there's already a link there that talks about the Blue Peak project, and it has a map of the city showing the area they're working in right now, that distribution area 5, and then it lays out kind of the order of which areas of town they'll go to. So if you're interested in seeing which zone your house or business is in, it doesn't lay out a full schedule of when they'll be there at this point, but at least gives you an idea of the order of where they'll go throughout the city. And then as Mr. Emery mentioned, that I'll update weekly, or will update weekly as the project unfolds with progress in each area and then where they plan to go next on their schedule.
Go ahead, Tim.
That site also has where you can click on it and they'll keep you updated as to when it gets to your area and when it's completed. So that if you're looking at changing over or something, they'll be in contact with you.
Correct, yeah. There's an alert system through Blue Peak's website you can register for. And then as long as I'm on it, there will be, as they get closer to having an area of town ready to be activated, there will be Blue Peak door-to-door salespeople, for lack of a better term, kind of going around dropping door hangers and visiting with residents about that. And they will keep us informed of that too, and we will, through our channels, update residents of when to expect that to happen so that they know who's in their neighborhood and why.
Steve, will a lot of the digging be done, you know, kind of behind the curb in people's yards?
Yeah, most of the work, yeah, it's going to happen kind of between the back of the curb and say the sidewalk or your right of way. So yeah, there is areas too, I guess, you know, where the city has maybe backyard easements, alleys. There is going to be some of those utilities going in those areas too. So kind of a combination of both, but I would say a majority of it is probably, from what I recall, is probably in the, I'd call it the street right away, out in front of your home is probably a majority of it.
Yeah, if you could keep a close eye on site restoration and making sure that people's front yards are put back nicely, you know, I think we'd all appreciate that.
Yeah, and one thing we talked about today is, because we've kind of requested them, you know, as far as seeding, you know, doing like a hydro seeding, like a mulch too when they're done. So they're talking about, I think it was about every Friday they would come in and, you know, whatever they've got done and topsoiled, then they would spray that and get the seed on probably like every Friday. So yeah.
Yeah, it can be tough when it's hot and dry in the summer to get that grass to grow. We just want to make sure the residents are happy with what's being done out there. Okay, anything else, Mr. Emery?
Nope.
All right, thank you. Any updates from the department heads? Okay, nothing. With that, I think we'd be looking for a motion to adjourn. Moved by Helms.
Second.
Second by Peterson. Any questions or discussion?
I did say it to you.
She did. I saw her.
Yeah,
She's a little closer. Roll call, please.
Roll call?
Yep.
Riepel,
Yes.
Helms,
yes.
Kasemy. Yes. Peterson,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Schumacher,
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Okay, that could have been all in favor, say aye, but we did a roll call instead. There is a closed session meeting downstairs after this, so we'll see the council down there. Thanks, everyone. Meeting adjourned.